This time, however, the Star Wars writers needed to show how Sly Moore got to the point where she hired IG-88 to go after Darth Vader, and they showed exactly that. But first, they wanted to show the demotion of Sly Moore from administrator to sub-administrator, and to make matters worse, he sent Grand Vizier Amida to do the honors. She was humiliated, to say the least, but it did not take a long time for her to understand that Luke Skywalker, was in the midst of all of this, and she could get to Darth Vader through him. After Darth Vader dealt with IG-88, the droid simply transferred his mind to another of his replicas and met Sly Moore in the Administrative Temple Garden 313A. IG-88 in fact had come here to inform Sly Moore that he wanted to terminate their agreement. He deployed her provided slice and disabled Vader's armor, but he had abilities that transcended technology, meaning the Force. But to Sly Moore it was obvious. They could not go at him alone. All of you have so much fear. Our enemies are strong, but true power works through a million hands. Now a voice could be heard saying maybe, as all of them whip their heads around to look at who it is, and with a swift motion, Darth Vader simply slices IG-88 in half once more, as Darth Vader had now tracked them down. All of them. It's Vader, run to the temple. All of them are afraid for their lives, as one of them even proclaims they're already dead. Vader is slowly approaching these frightened souls as they're rushing to get to the door inside the temple where they could feel safe, but nowhere is safe if Darth Vader can get to you. And as he used the Force to close the door once and for all and not let them escape, now Darth Vader, with lightsaber in tow, is approaching all of Sly Moore's secretive Illuminati members. As if having a trick up her sleeve, Sly Moore reveals her device that she handed to IG-88, trying to slice Darth Vader's mechanics again. As she sends an electrical impulse, thinking Darth Vader is frozen at that moment, she orders all of her followers to shoot as he is frozen. But for Darth Vader, it was a simple trick. He again disabled all her systems and used the Force to block all of their blasts. The poor members tried their best, but they couldn't even come close to the Dark Lord of the Sith. As now, one by one, the carnage had started. Darth Vader started slicing through all of them, and in the end, only Sly Moore remained. She clicked the button trying to slice Vader's armor, but it was to no avail. For Vader, it had no effect. IG-88 already used that trick, Umbaran, said Ochia Bestoon. Did you think Lord Vader wouldn't have fixed that vulnerability? An angry Sly Moore now raises her hand again. No matter, says the administrator, your master was once mere flesh. As slowly we realize that Sly Moore is using her Force sensitivity to force choke Darth Vader. He has greater weaknesses than any machine, as Vader now audibly could be heard struggling to breathe. His head is raised as if trying to get out of her Force grasp. Indeed, Vader now got a taste of his own medicine. Not since Palpatine had somebody been able to Force choke Vader back, as this was his known ability more so, but for Vader again it was to no avail, as he simply punched Sly Moore back, her hand and her body flinged away as she released a scream. For Darth Vader, a Dark Lord of the Sith, Sly Moore, a mere amateur Force sensitive, was no match for the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader. I am a Sith, says Darth Vader. You cannot bend my will. I would never presume, Lord Vader, says a visibly shaken and hurt Sly Moore. I merely wanted to see if you were still plagued by fear. The only fear in this place is yours, says Darth Vader. Yes, I am afraid. Now on her knees, Sly Moore says, you could easily kill me effortlessly, but that would do nothing to save you from Skywalker. Now Vader's curiosity is at a high. What do you know of Skywalker, says Darth Vader. Only he can displace you in the Emperor's favor. Sly Moore already had figured it out, but for Vader, again, he reassures her that he is weak and he will die if he would dare fight you. But what good is all your strength if you cannot find him? Now Sly Moore is being coy, approaching a small golden box, where she ultimately opens it in the presence of Darth Vader, telling him that Solo is the key. Skywalker's friend frozen in carbonite. Skywalker will follow him wherever he goes. And now someone is selling Solo. But if you try to secure him, the Emperor will know your plans. On the other hand, if I secure him for you, as she now reveals a datapad with the Crimson Dawn's logo adorning it. It is made apparent that she is trying to make herself valuable to Darth Vader in order for her not to be killed at this moment. While Vader is thinking things through, Ochia Bestoon does not trust her for a second. She just tried to kill them. The only person who could kill Lord Vader now, says the Umbaran, is Skywalker. I would be delighted to bring them together. As Ochia is laughing, Vader now has hatched his scheme. So be it, Umbaran. Go to this auction, bid for Solo, bring him to me. As now all the points in all the comics converge to Jakara, the Vermilion Fortress flagship of Crimson Dawn. One of the first times where we see Han Solo frozen in carbonite in this convoluted comic series where the Star Wars comic series, Dr. Aphra comic series, and even the Vader series are now converging together in this place to bid for Han Solo. Jabba starts the bidding at 200,000 credits, but Boku the Hutt immediately follows by saying 250,000. Now Jabba is made aware of Boku's betrayal. He immediately follows it up by saying 300. 400, says Boku the Hutt, and the final word from Jabba the Hutt, 1 million credits. This basically seals the deal. For the Empire now, spending over 1 million credits on a single prisoner did not make sense, and Ochia Bestoon was there laughing in the background to Sly Moore's despair. An angry Sly Moore now wanted a word with Ochia Bestoon. None of this makes any sense. Boku the Hutt serves Vader, says Sly Moore. You figured that one out. I guess your fingers thing is good for something. Why was he bidding against me, says Sly Moore. To humiliate you, of course, and himself at the same time. Now the Emperor will see your weakness even more clearly, and Jabba will see Boku's betrayal. But why, says Sly Moore, Vader needs us. You still don't get it, as an Imperial shuttle now lands outside of the Crimson Dawn flagship. One of the receptionists is trying to tell them that an Imperial contingent had already arrived, and we don't have any record of additional guests, but all of a sudden we can hear a struggling to breathe, and we know what that is all about. Darth Vader had finally arrived. You were really only right about one thing, Umbaran, says Ochia Bestoon. If you worms could unite, you would be so powerful. But why would Vader let that happen? As we can see all the guards of the Crimson Dawn being flinged up in the air as Vader is crushing all of them in one piece, as he has now crashed the party together with Death Troopers, as we see in the background. He is about to wreak havoc on everybody in here, including possibly capturing the frozen carbonite body of Han Solo.